Hey guys, I don't know what that was. Apparently my throat's a little congested, but yeah, so I'm gonna do something a little bit different, kind of like we did in the other video with 15 tag challenge questions. So today the tag challenge questions are going to be a little bit similar, but they're going to be childhood based, so you gotta get to know me a little bit more and about my childhood, and you'll probably figure out how old I am in the process. So yeah, I'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is I believe this is a collaboration between Rosario and Diane. I believe it was they either collaborated to do the questions or it was Diane who did the questions. I'm not sure which, so I apologize. But yeah, I'll go ahead and link both their channels below because I actually had gotten the tag from Rosario's channel. So yeah, I'll go ahead and link those below. So okay, the first question is, what decade were you born in? Technically, I was born in the 80s, the very, very, very late 80s. So yeah, the 80s, but like at the very end. What do you remember most about your childhood? It's a good question. I'm not really sure. Let's see. What do I remember most? I don't know. I feel like I was outside more, I guess. Like I used to play in the creek. I used to be like super adventurous. Yeah, so I think that's the biggest thing. And I was also super creative until like my later, early preteen years, where I kind of got like super into technology, as we all probably did, and that's a question for later. But I think probably just like being outside, being creative, kind of like it's a different world now. Kids growing up with iPads and iPhones, it's like it's so much different now, and like the world is different, and you know you have to be super careful and you know that kind of thing. So who's your favorite childhood band or singer? I don't know. I liked a few different bands. I liked Britney Spears. I liked NSYNC, the Backstreet Boys, Spice Girls, and Destiny's Child. And I believe one of those singers does solos now. I forget her name offhand. It's really terrible. But yeah, I have a few different. I don't think I have like a one particular favorite. I just like a few different ones. Sing a verse of a song that reminds you of your childhood and why that song. Shit, I honestly don't know. Bye, bye, bye. I'm sorry, that sounds ridiculous, but I don't know. That's the only thing I can really think of because I haven't listened to any like 90s type music in a while. So yeah. And when I say 90s, it's because, as I said again, I was born in the late 80s, so I grew up in the 90s and that kind of thing. So yeah. Who was your favorite childhood movie that wasn't Disney? Honestly, I don't know. I really did like Disney, and those are most of the movies that I watched. I would maybe say X-Files, because I got into X-Files when I was like in my preteen years. It was like around 10, 11. And I remember seeing Fight the Future with my dad, so maybe that one, because it was the most memorable, because for those of you who know me, I'm like super into X-Files. So yeah, I'd probably say that. Oh, actually one did pop into my head, just thought of. Homeward Bound, if we're talking like much earlier, like way childhood. Homeward Bound, Mile of Notice, like pretty much any like animal-centric movie, because like I like super into cats, and I still am, and animals in general. I just love animals. Who is your favorite childhood cartoon character? Okay, so are we counting Disney here, or are we counting anime, or what? Okay, so I was super into The Little Mermaid. I know it's technically Disney. So I'd say probably, yeah, Little Mermaid. I was super into the Little Mermaid, Ariel. And I was also, in my later preteen years, super into Sailor Moon. So I'd probably say those pretty equally. I was pretty obsessed with both. Who is your first childhood celebrity crush? Wow. I can't remember that far back. I don't have very good memory when it comes to my childhood, I'll be quite honest with you. But I thought the guys from the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC were cute. And okay, so I started watching X-Files like when I was in my preteen years. So I don't know if that counts, but David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson are both super hot. And if you've seen the show, you'll know why. There's crazy chemistry between them. So I would say those two. And then I really liked Brian Cross from Charmed. He played Leo. He was super cute. Again, that was like more like teenage years, so I'm not sure if it really includes childhood. So yeah. What was your favorite childhood snack? You guys remember those like little Lunchables where they have like crackers? I mean, I think they still have them, but they had like little dessert. And then there was also some yogurt that had like the sprinkles that like had this rainbow sprinkles. I don't remember what it was called. But they had like these little candies and it would like turn colors and that was really fun. And then I really liked anything sour, so sour candy. So like Warheads, I honestly forget a lot of names of these, but pretty much like any sour candy I really liked. I don't eat much candy nowadays, but I really liked sour candy back then. And I also super loved Gatorade. I don't know if that's considered a snack, it's more of a drink, but I super love Gatorade. I drank it like all the time. What was your favorite childhood clothing brand? I don't really have one. I don't know. I never really paid much attention to brands when I was a kid. But maybe like Self-Esteem. They had like a lot of fun like logo embellished like tops and stuff like that, or mud jeans. Those were always really fun. Those are the things those are the two brands I could think of offhand that I remember actually thinking about during my childhood, but yeah. What was one thing you had in your decade that you wish you had now? Honestly, I wish it was just like still safe for people to go outside, to be kids, because I feel like kids nowadays are like super addicted to technology. You know, kids don't really get out. It's like kids are always put in front of a screen. So I'd say probably that. Just being able to be a kid, you know, and not be attached to a screen, because even I was like later, my late preteen years, I was like on the computer like probably more than I should have been. What was your favorite childhood video game? I didn't play a whole lot of video games, but I remember Pokemon Snap. That was super fun. I was like super in the Pokemon. Oh, and back to the favorite cartoon. I totally forgot that because I was obsessed with Pokemon from the first time it came to the United States, and it was called like Pocket Monsters, and there were like these like, not virtual, but kind of like these gyms like that you go to at like different stores and play card games with other people, and you could actually win badges, and there were tournaments and all these cool things like when Pokemon first came out. It's so much different now. Pokemon is like kind of got crazy popular again about 2 years ago when Pokemon Go came out, but Pokemon Snap was just really cool where you just like take all these pictures. My friend has a bunch of old games like on his console where you could play that game again, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, so Pokemon was like also something I was like super obsessed with when I was like around 10, 11. Okay, going back. But yeah, so what's your favorite childhood video game? So Pokemon Snap, I remember playing 007 on the Nintendo 64, I believe it was. We had like a lot of the same games. And then there was like a racing game, and I don't remember what the name of it was, but yeah, it's the funny, I don't even play games now. But yeah, those are the ones that I remember. What was one thing you cherished from your decade? yeah, going back to just being able to just like be a kid, um, be creative, just kind of have a sense of wonder. Like I always like literally just wanted to be like Ariel from the Little Mermaid and just like escape into the ocean, and yeah, just kind of having that sense of wonder before, you know, uh, those like you become jaded as an adult. I know that sounds really bad, but yeah, I'd probably say that. How old were you when you got your first cell phone? I was I was about 16 and a half. It was shortly after I'd gotten my first job. Um, and I feel like it was later than a lot of other people. I feel like a lot of other people in high school already had a cell phone, but yeah, that's when I got a cell phone. Which did you use more, AIM or MSN? I think MSN. I used both, but I think I used MSN a bit more. And if there was one thing you can change from your childhood, what would it be? I don't know. I mean, the things that I could think of are probably like outside of my control, like familial situations, living circumstances. Um, I feel like those kind of things I probably can't change because obviously being a minor. Um, but yeah, I would probably like change those things if possible. But again, I don't know. And I think, I mean, because I don't know, I had like a lot of difficulties as a kid. I mean, I like a lot of growing pains. And I wish that I was able to kind of grow out of them sooner. I don't know. I mean, and also being a kid, like, you don't really know, right? You don't really know, like, you need to change. I mean, like, you don't really get that sense till, like, you're older. So if that, you know what I mean? So, I would probably say that. Yeah. I think that's probably something I would change if I had the capability to. And just, I also think maybe just kind of keeping some old friendships, trying to kind of put myself out there more. I actually made most of my best friends as an adult. Yeah, so, yeah, things that I had, those are the, I don't know, I feel like a lot of things weren't inside my power, unfortunately. Yeah, that I'd probably say that, so. Yeah, so that's pretty much, I think that was the last question for this social media tag challenge. I will go ahead and link those in the comments below along with the questions so you guys can do this challenge. I'd love to learn more about you too. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.